I'm late again. I'm sorry. Okay, so long story short, I had a really big planning session last night, my Sunday brainstorming, where I was finally gonna just get it right this morning. You know, Monday, I love my Monday fresh starts. So I spent some time on a new journal, or not a new journal, but a new agenda, I guess you can say, right? So the Miracle Morning agenda, or it's actually for network marketers, so it's an action plan, a 90-day action plan, right? And the way that this journal or this agenda is set up is that it wants you to basically plan your day down to the very minute, okay? So anyway, so last night I spent time, all right, I never thought this kind of agenda would work for me. I just want a big box of the day, and I'll write whatever I want to write, a big little to-do list. Well, let's invite some people. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. So I spent all this time filling this out, and I love it because it knows you want to be up early, right, for Miracle Morning. So it starts off with the 5 a.m. So I woke up at 5 a.m. I did my Miracle Morning today to the T, except exercise. I didn't quite put that one in, but I knew that I was skipping it today, right? I knew that I was gonna, do some savers in the morning. I had it all planned out. So I was tired, super tired. Alarm goes off. I didn't quite shoot out of bed, but I got up. I didn't snooze. I got up, and I went through the motions of my Miracle Morning. I did my my silence. I did my affirmations. I did my visualization with my vision board. I did my reading. I mean, I was set, and I was gonna rule the world today, guys. I was gonna be live at 8 a.m., which I'm barely functioning at 8 a.m. sometimes, and then all of a sudden, my husband says at 6:30, he's like, I am not feeling well today. And he's been having his own issues. And I'm like, he never says that. My husband is Superman, okay? He just pushes through whatever it is that needs to be pushed through. We know that, sorry, this is two in the back. He knows that he needs to, what he needs to do, what I need to do for us, for everything to work out. So I was like, oh my gosh, if he's not feeling well, that means that my plan for the day is gone, okay? I was going to be live at 8. I was going to be at Panera Bread by 9 a.m. I was going to put a full day there. No, I don't work at Panera Bread. I like the coffee and the free Wi-Fi and the peace and quiet, right? And normally, this would have rocked my world. I would have just been like, forget it, that's it, I guess I can't work today. It would have really thrown me off. Thank goodness I had my Miracle Morning, because I was just aligned, and I was like, okay, no big deal. Obviously he wasn't feeling well, so I was concerned, but life still had to go on. I still had to work. I still had to get things done. So I give it, the reason was because of Miracle Morning. So we're working on chapter 3 today. If you go back through my timeline, this is the 3rd video in this series. I've already done 2 others. One was just an introduction overall what Miracle Morning is. It's a great book that I just love so much that I have got to share it with you all. We did the introduction. We did chapter 1. We did chapter 2. And then today we're going to talk about chapter 3, which blew my mind, okay? It's called the 95% Reality Check. And I've gone back and forth with which, should I read you the chapter, or should I just read you my summary notes? I've gone with reading you my summary notes. If for some reason you're like, no, dude, you need to read it to us because we want you to read it to us, I'll do that. But I'd rather just kind of read my notes and talk, okay? So if you're watching, say hello, please. If you're on the replay later on, do hashtag replay. I'm not really sure. I don't see comments, so I'm not. Ooh. Invite some people. There we go. Okay, I think swipe to reveal comments and reactions. That's what I did. All right, so here we go. Chapter 3 is about the 95% reality check. And when I read this chapter, I thought, wow, I had no idea. One of the saddest things in life is to get to the end and look back in regret, knowing that you could have been done, had and had so much more. Okay? The story of the human race is the story of men and women selling themselves short. Yikes, I thought when I read this, right? Well, here's a little bit here. Every day you and I wake up, we face the same universal challenge, and that's to overcome mediocrity. And sorry if I say that word wrong. It's one of those words for me. We live in mediocrity, and we don't live to our full potential. It's the greatest challenge in human history, to rise above our excuses, do what's right, give our best, and create the level 10 life we truly want, with no limits, the one so few people ever get to live. Most people never even come close. Approximately 95% of our society settles for far less than they want in life, wishing they had more, living with regret, and never understanding that they could be, do, and have all they want. Isn't that insane? So in this study, 100 people, they followed them for 40 years. 1 is probably going to be wealthy. 4 are going to be financially secure. 5 will probably continue working because they have to. 36 will be dead. 54 will be broke and dependent on friends, family, relatives, and the government to take care of them. Isn't that crazy? So what can we do to ensure that we don't end up struggling like the 95% of the majority will? Well, according to this book, there are steps for rising above the mediocrity and joining that top 5%. And there's 3 steps. Number 1 is to acknowledge that this 95% reality check, right? The second one is going to be to identify the cause of your mediocrity. And then, let me go to the third before I sum it all up. The third is going to be to draw the line in the sand and live your definition of an extraordinary life. And you got to make that decision. So what will you do differently from this day forward? Okay, so those are the 3 things that they say in this book are going to help you kind of break off from that. So let's go back to step 1, okay? So step 1 was acknowledge a 95% reality check even exists, okay? So if we must first acknowledge that 95% of our society will never create and live the life they really want, right? So as soon as that we kind of like swallow that hard pill, we kind of have just an open mind, like, all right, what do you mean? Tell me more, right? Well, if we don't commit to thinking and living differently than most people, we are setting ourselves up to endure a life of mediocrity, of struggle, of failure, and of regret, just like most people, right? Some of us call it life, right? Well, being average actually means to settle for less than you truly want and are capable of, and to struggle for your entire life, right? And we don't want that. So what are the causes? They say that step 2 is to identify the cause of your mediocrity. So what are the causes, right? Well, the next step is to understand why. You know, why does 95% of our society settle for far less than they're capable of? I have here a quote. I want a life of freedom where I can get to wake up and do what I want, when I want, with whoever I want. I want to get out of bed every day and truly love my life. I want to love my work, and I want to love the people I get to share my life with. That's my definition of success. All right? So that kind of life doesn't just happen. It must be designed, right? And if you want to live an extraordinary life as defined and designed by you, then you, us, me, we must identify the fundamental causes of our mediocrity so we can prevent them from robbing us of the life that we really want, okay? So here's some causes. And when I learned about this, it's going to be a little mind-blowing because it's going to be one of those things you're like, really? Like, wow, I could do something about this. So what are the causes of mediocrity in our life? And then what are their solutions? I'm going to tell you that. Well, not me, right? But Hal Elrod did in this book. So that's why I just feel so compelled to share it with you guys too. Hey, Jessica and Lillian. Tell me hi if you're watching. Because I'm not even sure if you're watching. I can't see the comments. All right, so what are the causes? Well, there's one thing, and it's called the rear view mirror syndrome. So what this is you need to be aware of your thoughts, okay? One of the most crippling causes of mediocrity in life is a condition called the rear view mirror condition. And it's our subconscious minds. They're equipped with self-limiting rear view mirror. Let me read that again, because I really want this to... Our subconscious minds are equipped with a self-limiting rear view mirror, through which we continuously relive and recreate our past. Sound familiar? Yeah, right? We mistakenly believe that who we are, or who we were, is who we are. Thus, we're limiting our true potential in the present based on the limitations of our past. Got that? So as a result, we end up filtering every single choice we make from now on. From the time we wake up in the morning to which goals we will set to what we allow ourselves to consider possible for our lives. And we do that because of our limitations from our past experiences. If we want to create a better life, but sometimes we don't know how to see it any other way than the way it's always been. Isn't that true? You think, well, it's always been like this. You know, my life's never going to change. If you believe that, that's what's going to be true. We think about 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of our thoughts are the same ones every day. So imagine if every day you think, no, I'm not going to do that. No, that's not happening for me. This is horrible. This is terrible. You see why? So most of our thoughts are the same ones every day. It's no wonder most people go through life day after day, month after month, year after year, and never change the quality of their lives. That was so crazy for me. When we're presented with opportunities, we check our rearview mirror to assess our past capabilities. So when we're presented with something, nah, can't do that. You know, last time I tried something like that, it didn't work. Or last time, you know, someone else did that, didn't work for them. Not going to try it. Right? And we're guilty of that. Raise your hand if you're guilty of that. You know I am. If we were to move beyond your past and transcend your limitations, you must stop living out of your rearview mirror and start imagining a life of limitless possibilities. So stop looking back at your past to determine what you can do in your future. That's the key. We need to accept the paradigm. And that is, my past does not equal my future. So you got to remember that. And you got to talk to yourself in a way that it inspires confidence that not only is anything possible, but you're your life. You are capable and committed to making it happen. We don't need to place unnecessary limitations on what you want for your life. Okay, we got to think bigger than we've been allowed to think up until this point. And we have to always remember that where you are is a result of who you were. But where you go, we know this cliche, right? Cliche. Where you go is going to depend entirely on who you choose to be from this moment on. So you can make a change. It's funny because this is exactly what I'm talking to my team about in our teen training. So Miracle Morning just kind of goes really, really well with that. Another reason why you've been maybe living in mediocrity is because of a lack of purpose. So the average person, and I know this is so true because just the other day you could ask me what my favorite flavor of ice cream was and I couldn't even answer you anymore. I had lost that person. So the average person can't articulate their life's purpose, the compelling why that drives them to wake up every day and do what it takes to fulfill their mission in life. Can you believe that? Most people, I'm going to say that again, the average person cannot articulate their life purpose, the compelling why that drives them to wake up every day and do what it takes to fulfill their mission. The secret to overcoming mediocrity is to live a life of purpose. Okay? Up until the other day, I'm telling you, because I'm going through this process myself, I finally sat down and I was like, what do I want? Like, for real, what do I really, really, really want? And I took it to paper. I took my, whatever. And I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. So that compelling why, the reason you do something, is so necessary to make sure that you're not living a life of mediocrity. Okay? So let me just gather my thoughts. So the secret to overcoming mediocrity is to live a life of purpose. You need to decide right now that your life purpose for the next 12 months will be to become the person I need to be to create the success, freedom, and quality of life that I truly want. Okay? That's my mantra every day. And that's what I say to myself every day. Right now, I decide that my life purpose for the next 12 months will be, and I keep saying this, I started saying this a year ago, and I say it every single morning. So it's already been a year since I've said this, and I know I am a completely different person than a year ago when I started, when I read this book, okay? So then after you declare that, you live every day in alignment with your life's purpose. You're constantly and you're consciously aligning all your thoughts, your words, your actions with whatever your purpose is, okay? So to defeat this cause of mediocrity, you need a life purpose, okay? And it could be anything you want. It could be anything that resonates with you and inspires you to wake up every day and live in alignment with your purpose. You can change your life's purpose at any time. You can change it every day if you want to, okay? You choose it, and you choose the purpose, and you start living it right now. A universal life purpose can be to become a better version of yourselves. Maybe we want to start with that. You know, in this crazy world we're living in now, that would be a good one if we all started with, right? If everyone's purpose was just to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. You got to focus on growing and being the best that you can be, pursuing your dreams and inspiring others to do the same. And I hope I'm doing that. That's been my life, really a purpose for me for the last year. So schedule some time this week to think about this and articulate your life purpose. Write it down where you will see it every day. And I just want to let you know, just in case you're like, really, when am I going to have time to like think about all this stuff? Your miracle morning time gives you the time that you need to kind of think. Remember, I've been telling you that miracle morning, waking up early in the morning, having time before your family, it gives you that space that you need to realize that self-care is important, necessary, not selfish, and actually very, very much needed. Okay, so that was the second thing. The third thing that are causes of mediocrity is isolating incidents. This one was huge, okay? So the not so obvious cause of mediocrity, I hate that word, not hate, but you know what I mean, I can't say it, is isolating incidents. We do this when we mistakenly assume that each choice we make is an individual action, and it's only affecting that particular moment or circumstance. So for example, we may think, it's no big deal if I miss this workout, or you know what, it's no big deal if I eat fast food this one time. Well, what we must realize, guys, is that the real impact and consequence of each of our choices, so that every time that you skip the gym, or every time that you eat that whatever you're not supposed to eat, or every time that you blow something off, or every time that you press snooze and don't do what you're going to do, each of our choices and actions, and even our thoughts, they're monumental, because every single thought, every single choice, every single action is determining who you are becoming, okay? And that will ultimately determine the quality of your life and who you are. So if every day you're not doing it, and you're not doing it, and you're not doing it, guess what? You're going to be that person that just doesn't do it, okay? So, and that's how we end up living the life of mediocrity. How you do anything is how you do everything. We've heard that one before, right? Okay, thanks for the likes. Yes, give me some likes and thumbs up if you're watching. I know I'm chatting. So every time you choose to do the easy thing instead of the right thing, you're shaping your identity, okay? And on the other hand, when you choose to do the right thing and follow through with your commitments, like me coming on today, I said I was going to do Miracle Morning today, and I didn't do it at 8 a.m., but my gosh, I was going to do it at 8 p.m. Following through with your commitments, even when you don't feel like it, that is how you're developing the extraordinary discipline, which most people never have, that's necessary for creating an extraordinary result in your life. Isn't that crazy? Hi, Phyllis. So your discipline creates your lifestyle. This is huge for me because I'm a work-at-home mom. I'm a homeschooling mom. My life is just all here at home, and I need discipline or my life is a chaotic mess. Okay, so love this. Almost done. So everything we do affects who we're becoming, which is determining the life that we will ultimately create and live. So when that alarm goes off in the morning, instead of snoozing, instead of thinking, wait, this is not who, or instead of snoozing, start thinking instead, wait, this is not who I want to become. I don't want to be someone who doesn't have enough discipline to get out of bed in the morning. Oh, when I started saying that to myself, I was like, eek. I'm getting up now because I'm committed to waking up early. I'm committed to hitting my goals. I'm committed to creating the life of my dreams. That's what you got to tell yourself at 5 a.m., guys, when the alarm goes off and you're like, no, snooze, right? Who are you becoming? Who you are becoming is far more important than what you're doing. And yet, it is what you're doing that is determining who you're becoming. So, that's kind of crazy. Another reason that we live mediocre lives is the lack of accountability. So the link between success and accountability is irrefutable. Virtually all highly successful people embrace a high degree of accountability. Accountability is the act of being responsible to someone else for some action or result. So we must take responsibility for initiating our own systems of accountability. I have an accountability partner. I have people in my business that I talk to every day. Hey, are you doing this? Hey, are you doing that? Okay, I'm going to do that. My husband, me and him are accountability partners. And I have a group of friends that have read this book, and we're kind of accountability partners to each other, getting us up in the morning and kind of following through with doing this. So another reason why we live mediocre lives is because of our mediocre circle of influence. We become like the average of 5 people we spend the most time with. Okay? So don't let your insecurities, your fears, and your limiting beliefs of others limit what's possible for you. Okay? Another reason we live mediocre lives is because of our lack of personal development. This one's huge, and I completely agree. I started personal development last October with this book. I feel like I started my personal development journey with this book, and wow, day and night, the person that I was last year to the person this year. Our levels of success will rarely exceed our level of personal development. So funny, we were just talking about this in my team group, that we all have a what do we call it? Let me see if I can find the notes on that. But we all have a like a point where we're not going to go further than that point unless we take the time for personal development. Okay, we're forced to make time for pain and struggle. Miracle Morning will give you that time to plan all this out. Okay, and to do your personal development. And then, of course, the lack of urgency. This is huge. Many of us have a lack of urgency of a level 10 vision. This is the most significant cause of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential, which prevents 95% of us from creating and living the life we truly want. So our human nature is to live with a someday I'll do that. You know, that's our mindset. That's our human nature. And we think that life is going to work itself out. Well, how's that working out for everyone? Right? How's that working out for you? Well, this someday mindset is perpetual, and it leads to a life. There we go. This someday mindset is perpetual, and it leads to a life of procrastination, unfulfilled potential, and regret. Now, right now, this moment matters more than any other time in your life, because it's what you are doing today that is determining who are you becoming. And who you are becoming will always determine the quality and direction of your life. Make sense? Okay. If you don't make the commitment today to start becoming the person you need to be to create this extraordinary life you really want, what makes you think tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year are going to be any different? Okay? The decision needs to be just right now. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do something different. And then step 3. So those were all the different reasons. And step 2, the causes of our mediocrity. We need to pinpoint, what is it? Is it the rearview mirror syndrome? Is it our lack of purpose? Is it those isolating incidents that we think every day us not doing something is not really that big of a deal, but all compiled it really is? Is it our lack of accountability? Is it our mediocre circle of friends, our lack of personal development, or is it our lack of urgency and just realizing that we can have a better life? Okay? And then step 3 is draw your line in the sand. Live your definition of an extraordinary life. Your definition of an extraordinary life may be very, very different than my definition of an extraordinary life, right? But you need to make a decision, whatever it is for you. Make a decision. What will you start doing differently from right now, from the moment you stop watching my video? What will you do different? Okay? What will you do differently? Will you wake up a little extra early tomorrow? Will you, spend a little extra time on bed night kisses tonight? What will you do differently? So that's it. That's chapter 3 of Miracle Morning. I hope you enjoyed that. I know that chapter was a big reality check for me, and it's called a 95% reality check. So there you go. Next chapter, chapter 4, is why did you wake up this morning? So it's going to talk more about like your purpose, okay? And we'll get to that. It's a small chapter. And what I'm going to do is, this is the plan. I kind of mapped it out, and if I go live every day, doing a chapter every day, I'll be done on October 17th, which is 1 year that I started this book, which I thought was interesting because when I counted it out, I didn't mean for it to, work out that way, but it does. So I'm kind of excited about that. I feel like it's just alignment and a sign kind of thing. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you found value in this video, if you want to know more about this book, this is what I'm talking about, Miracle Morning. We did chapter 3 today. Hashtag Miracle Morning if you are a Miracle Morning person already, which means, you know, you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. You